Lord of the Rings War in the North is exactly why I have this channel. This game is mid-goated amazing trash. War in the North, a standalone Lord of the Rings title released in 2011 for the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and PC. Developed by Snowblind Studios and WB Games, it marked the first Lord of the Rings game released by Warner Bros. Following their acquisition of the licensing rights in 2009. The game tells the story of Eredan, a human ranger, Farin, a dwarven champion, and Andriel, an elven mage, on their journey to stop Sauron's forces from amassing in the north, while Frodo and the Fellowship head to Mount Doom with the One Ring. The game is a very simple third-person hack-and-slash RPG, although I'd put a fat fucking asterisk on the RPG descriptor. You choose one of the three characters, follow very linear paths, get help from the Eagles, meet the straight-to-DVD versions of the Fellowship, and take down Agendour in time to get home before the streetlights turn on. Real quick, I've played this game like 4 different times and I've never beaten it. Every single time I've played it, I had a game-breaking bug that blocked my progression. It was always something like an invisible wall that I couldn't pass, an enemy stuck under the map, or a corrupted save file. And I ended up looking this up and found threads on GameFAQs and Reddit with the same issue, so glad it wasn't just me. Well, I finally beaten it 14 years later, all thanks to my subscribers and channel members for supporting me to make videos like this one. The combat is the main gameplay loop, and it is basic. You'll spend the entire game spamming the X button to swing your swords or axes at the enemies. Occasionally, once you've done enough damage, a little arrow will appear above the enemy and you'll press the Y button to do a critical attack or a killing blow. The killing blows are satisfying enough. They feel oddly rewarding and they scratch that itch that our monkey brain loves. But unfortunately, the animations are underwhelming. You'll see the same ones over and over again. The animations don't even adapt to the weapon that you have equipped. You'll see stabbing animations while holding a hammer. Unlike the awesome movie tie-in games from the previous generation, there are no combos in War in the North. It's just mashing the X button forever. You can do a heavy attack without the little triangle, but it's slow and it's really only needed when you need to break an enemy's block. And there's really no impact or feedback when you're getting hit yourself. If you get swarmed by a group of enemies, you better keep an eye on the HP bar in the corner of the screen and start spamming health pots or you're gonna get melted before you even know it. Even the AI gets tired of this shit. Where is she? Is she bugged?
Come on, Ranger. There are still foes to defeat.
Thank you, my friend. I am in your
She
debt.
bugged? There are some abilities mapped to chord presses of the right trigger and a face button, and all 3 characters have these same abilities, like a big sweeping attack or an even heavier overhead swing, but there are character-specific abilities mapped to the trigger and to the B button. Eredan can go invisible, which is mostly helpful for picking up downed allies.
Rescue our companion! Quickly!
Oh, fuck. I wonder if I can go into evasion.
I thought elves were meant to have long
Sick.
lives.
Farin does a war cry that greatly boosts the party's stats, and Andriel casts a bubble shield. Each character also has a ranged attack, be it a bow, a crossbow, or bolts from the staff.
Decapitation!
And each have their own specific ranged abilities. And throughout the journey, you're aided by one of the great eagles, Belaram, who you can summon down from the sky with the trigger and the A button. As you kill enemies, you'll level up, giving you a skill point for the bare bone skill tree and letting you put 3 points into either strength, dexterity, stamina, or will. There's nothing here besides simple stats, more damage, more health, more scaling. Later in the game, there are respec tokens available at the shops if you want to switch things up. Items are looted from enemies, from chests, and from hidden caches along the path. Weapons have a range of damage that they'll do with each attack, and some are enchanted to do elemental damage. I just wish that there were more skills or passives that modify the elemental damage and make it worth a damn. I mean, I'm not saying it needs to be complex. I'm not looking for this to be Path of Exile.
Spend your passive skill point. You gain a skill point, press P or click on this one. Oh, this is the moment everyone stops playing, isn't it? Yeah, this is the moment when you all look and go, you know what? I'm good.
Armor pieces have very simple base stats, damage, or armor. What makes it interesting is that it's all set-based gearing. Occasionally, you'll find items with a set listed at the bottom of their stat page, and jumping over to the More Info tab reveals the bonuses you'll get from piecing together items in that same set. The whole game revolves around finding these sets to scale your stats to ridiculous levels. It's interesting enough to keep you going and checking every item you find to see if you finally got something in your set, but it also sorta locks you into sets. Like during my playthrough, I had 3 pieces of the marksman set really early on, so I was skipping out on massive armor improvements because they weren't in the set. It's not a bad system, I mean it's fine, but they had to go and fuck it up by adding weapon durability, requiring you to head to town and repair your gear every so often. For my playthrough, I played this by myself and not on co-op because I'm an adult and it's hard enough to schedule when I'm gonna take a shit, let alone deal with another human being. I played exclusively as Hurrdurr because I remember his bow attacks being busted in the late game. Also, he can dual wield one-handed weapons and that just sort of fits with my favorite archetype. I didn't play as either of the other characters, so I'll leave any opinions on them for the comment section. Hurrdurr has all the personality of a wet cardboard cumrag, and I was a little surprised to learn his voice actor is none other than Nathan Drake himself, Nolan fucking North.
Urgos dwells, but I just might be able to find out. But I would need my staff for that, and I seem to have...
We found your staff. Here it is.
But to be fair to Nolan North, not a single voice actor in this game seemed to give a shit during their recording sessions. And neither did the audio mixing team, who couldn't be bothered to mix the music into the backgrounds while characters were talking.
Dangerous under the spread of the shadow. With the enemy seeking news of Bilbo, Dane thought we should come to Elrond for counsel. I never imagined what I'd learn when we got here, but it may be wise to say no more.
Aragorn has told us that Frodo bears the One Ring.
Now I know I've been complaining, but damn it, I really enjoyed my time with War in the North. It's all so simple and dumb and a little janky, and I ate up every moment of it. It's a perfect turn off your brain, kill some enemies, make some progress, forgettably enjoyable game.
You face a ranger now! It's pretty obvious now, felt the missing rangers.
The story is basically a fanfic. It's non-canon and it only loosely connects to the story told in Tolkien's novels. It kicks off with our party meeting Aragorn at the Prancing Pony because of course it does. The Dark Lord Sauron is allied with this lieutenant Agendaur who seeks to gather an orc and goblin army in the north. Aragorn sends the group to Fornos to deal with Agendaur, but before you head out, you'll spend some time running around town to get a locket fixed and help this dude get the love of his life to fall in love with him instead of the blacksmith.
But I don't understand. Why is he giving me this now?
Because he is in love with you, lass. He wanted me to tell you so.
Rowley loves me? Still? We were so close when we were children, but I thought he had forgotten all that.
Forgotten? Oh no. You should see him fretting and fussing. It's almost pathetic, really.
And once you're done playing Matchmaker, the party heads to Fornost, rescuing the trapped Belaram and fighting through to climb the tower and face down Agendaur, who runs like a little bitch.
My work is only just beginning. Do you think you two alone can hope to stop me?
They are not alone.
Don't look for your guards. They won't be coming.
Fornos means nothing. You haven't won anything here.
From there, the group heads to the ranger camp at Sarn Ford and through the Barrow Downs before eventually reaching Rivendell just as the fellowship meetings are taking place. Here you can talk to the other characters and get filled in on some non-canon lore. And if you are interested in any of that, you better talk to them now because once you leave for the next area, they set off for Mount Doom. I guess now is the best time to mention that almost all of the story in this game takes place in these really shitty dialogue menus. You can just click whichever option you want and the conversation will still progress. Makeshift Elrond here sends you off to the Ettenmoors to deal with Agendour while the Fellowship goes and does their thing. From there, you head to Gundabad, finding a cool shot of the growing orc armies. Then the group travels to Mirkwood to find Radagast the Brown. They find Radagast's home surrounded by the spiders, and they find his staff. And after feeding definitely not Shelob, they rescue Radagast and return his staff. Radagast points the party in the direction of the dragon Urgast, whom Agendour struck a deal with. If Urgast joins Sauron's forces, he can have the dwarven city of Nordenbad.
As mighty as you are, you would do well not to offend my master.
I did not say I refused. Only that you must first achieve my reward before you can give it.
The group talks to the dragon and instead offer him the Witch King's fortress at Carn Dûm if he'll agree to not join forces with Sauron. And yeah, I mean, you defend Nordenbad, then you go to Carn Dûm for the final showdown with Agendour, which is pretty sweet in my opinion. During all of this fighting at Nordenbad, Belaram gets injured, but through sheer grit and determination, he shows up to help you during the fight with Agendour. And here you actually have the option to call for his aid or not to. And if you do choose to call for his aid like I did, Agendour pulls off the most obvious bait.
He gave us time to recover.
Strike now! Strike for Belaram!
For Belaram!
But if you don't choose to call for aid, Belaram instead survives and helps the trio get home during the final cutscene. And with that, Agendour is finally defeated.
Need your strength! No!
And in the final cutscene, Urgast flies down to survey his new fortress and informs our heroes that Frodo threw the ring into the fires of Mount Doom, and everyone just sort of spidey senses that he's right, and the game ends.
It would seem I made the right choice. Sauron is no more.
What? How could you know that?
It is true. I can feel it. Like a great weight has been lifted from my heart.
I feel it too. He's done it. Frodo's really done it. The ring has been destroyed.
Be that as it may, you must still honor your oath to me. Carn Dûm is mine.
We are true to our word, Dragon. You are welcome to it.
Just see you mind your manners, old worm, and we'll have no quarrel.
Tis a long way home from here, for each of us.
Let us make for Emlodris. You will find no better place to rest and recover.
What say you, Farin? Should we go to Rivendell?
A little rest sounds good.
War in the North is that 7 out of 10 good shit that I love. Steam sales estimate it sold about 630,000 copies, which is pretty respectable given the numbers were likely much higher on the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. And that's pretty damn impressive when you also add in the context that this came out between the masterpiece that is Batman Arkham City and Todd Howard's original sin, Skyrim. Unfortunately, some licensing deals have expired and you can no longer buy War in the North on Steam, which is a bit of a bummer. The story is bland, the characters have no personality, the combat is kinda whatever, but I still had a damn good time. Maybe it's because it has the Lord of the Rings license, or maybe it's because I'm just starting to appreciate playing games without critiquing them to death, but this just really scratched the itch that I was looking for. A perfect, I don't have to fucking care kind of game. And 14 years later, I finally beat it. And I bet in a few more years, I'll forget all about the bad aspects and just remember the good times I had mashing the X button and looking for armor pieces to complete my sets. It's funny what nostalgia will do to you.